Thank you. I want to request that you have a seat first. Thank you. I believe we are talking to Rafik Danji. Just as a proof, please, could you please furnish us with your national ID or any identification document that you have? Sergeant Atam, would you please pass this to the honorable members to confirm too? Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafik Dhanji. This is the Committee on Appointment of the Kisumu County Assembly, and we are doing vetting for the nominees for the City Board, Kisumu City Board. And I think before we proceed, I think they are getting some other document for you. I want to just ask the honorable members to do very short introduction. Just your name and the word you represent. Starting with the, yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Abdul. I'm Karen Odhiambo, member representing Shaurimoyo Kaloleni Ward, also a member of Appointment Committee. Welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Honorable Eunice Alando, specially elected, representing the interest of women in Kisumu County under our popular party, ODM. I'm a member of this County Assembly of Kisumu and also a member of this committee that is handling the interviews. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Bonyo, MCA representing Southwest Kisumu Ward and a member of Appointment Committee.
Good morning. My name is Honorable James Ochengo Molo. I represent West Nyakach Ward. Karibu.
Good afternoon, Abdul. Good afternoon. I'm Vincent Jagongo Chopper, member for Maseno, and also a member of this committee.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Oko, a member representing Hero Ward.
Thank you, honorable members, and my name is Seth Okumu. I'm the MCA representing East Seme. With me is the secretariat of the committee, and I also want to give them opportunity to do a very short introduction.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Peter Nditi, secretariat.
My name is Herman Moses, clerk assistant.
My name is Rispa Uma, Sergeant Atam.
So before we proceed, Abdul Rafik Danji, it's a requirement that you be sworn in so that whatever you say in this to this committee is the truth and nothing but the truth. And you'll take oath. I don't know if you want to use the Bible, the Quran, or you are the Quran. Thank you.
I, Abdul Rafik Danji, do solemnly and sincerely swear that every word that I shall utter before this committee is the truth and nothing but the truth, and that every statement and declaration that I shall make shall be made conscientiously, believing that the same to be true and according to the Oaths and Statutory Declarations Act. So help me God.
Thank you, Rafik. Up to that point, I believe you are instructed to come with your original testimonials. And I want to request that you hand them over to the Sergeant at Arms to bring them so that we confirm with the documents that we are having. Thank you. As we go through the testimonials, please, maybe, in summary, maybe you need to tell the committee members why you feel that you suit this position that you are being vetted for. That is a member of Kisumu City Board. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my name is Abdul Rafiq Danji. I'm a Kisumu boy. I was born in the year 1962 in Karachuanyo, the Muturua, and I was born at Gendia Mission Hospital. My father was born in Nasembo Kamito in 1917, and we are fourth generation Kenyans. So my father was born here, I was born in Gendia, my son and my grandson all are born here. I have lived in this town for the last 60 years. I was born in Kindube, but I grew up in Kisii until the age of 10. So in 1972, I came to Kisumu, and I've been here ever since. Went to Aga Khan Primary School, went to Kisumu Boys High School, then did a little bit of industrial training attachment at ITC for automobile engineering. Our family business was Kashmir Gardens. My father was running that store, and I joined in the family business. I then set up other business interests in the year 1991, 92, 93. Did a little bit of property development, did telecommunications, and I set up JRS Group, which is a security service provider, in the year 2001. It's a 23-year-old company. I employ over 800 people. We do provision of guarding services, provision of electric fencing, fire equipment, etc. I have been involved in community policing for a very long time, and my relationship with the municipal, the county, the provincial administration, the National Police Service Commission, etc., over the years has led me to believe to be philanthropic in what I do. I have been a Kisumu boy, as I told you, and we've worked collectively in solutions to the problems facing our city. So basically, every election cycle, we're looking at how to do preparedness for elections, how to mitigate risks, how to be able to advise the communities in being able to proactively engage themselves is something I've done over the years. I mean, I've been the past chairman of the Aga Khan community. I'm the past president of the Association of Roundtables in Eastern Africa, which is Roundtables is a young men's association, basically catering for the underprivileged and the less fortunate members of our beloved society. So at Aga Khan Council, I also was for 40 years the chairman of the risk management department of the Aga Khan Development Network, and also been a board member of the steering committee of the Aga Khan Hospital here as well, and the president of the council. Currently, I'm the vice chair of Kenya Security Industry Association nationally, and I am the chairman of JRS Group, based in Kisumu here. And so I think my nomination, I may have been deemed to be worthy to be able to contribute to the development of our beloved city. The reason is that I do not know in what sector my nomination has been proposed, whether it's the private sector, whether it's the business sector, or in whatever sector it may be there. But overall, in terms of what value would I bring to Kisumu City Board? The question here is that we have a city that needs governance. It's been governed after the devolution. We previously had the municipal councils, which then evolved into county government. And we've lived here. We've seen the city develop. A lot of meaningful development has happened after devolution. I was in this chamber, I think in the year 2005, I'm not sure was it after devolution or not, when we were looking at the discussion on the reclamation of the cemetery land when I was the chairman of the Aga Khan community, where we had come in with a petition to be able to, the county assembly representation at that time in terms of our interests, where we had buried our beloved ones. So I remember looking at the chamber at that time and looking at what today is here in terms of what development and what, devolution has brought to our region. I think a lot of empowerment, a lot of good policies have taken place. When we look at the city, we look at the cleanliness, we look at the professional management of the way it's done. However, there have been erratic decisions that have been made by the, by the powers that be, sometimes without consultation, and which have had negative repercussions on the business community at large. So these are some of the collective discussions that one can have in terms of having a win-win situation, and how do we contribute to making Kisumu a greater city than it is currently. It is one of the cleanest and one of the best managed cities, I think, within the Horn of Africa at the moment. When I'm moving around and I look at the way it's been cleaned right from in the mornings, because I'm an avid walker and a cyclist as well. So I move quite a bit. And the other reason is that, of course, policy decisions based at what can one bring value to this discussion in terms of policies, implementations, bylaws, etc. for the city. So I think it would be a learning experience, but I would bring wealth of experience based on the professional business acumen that I've progressively had over the last 60 years of my life. And probably it's about time to give back to this great city of ours, where we've all grown and belong to. And even at our consultative discussions periodically, even when recently we had all the election violences, we've been there in 2007, we've been there when we had, various issues have been around. We've proactively been engaged at all levels in being able to get solutions with all groups in terms of discussions, etc. Couple of the MCAs are known to me in terms of, in terms of discussions when we've had, for peace initiatives, and being able to understand that, where we are going is not the right demarcated area for our city, because you can't destroy what you really, built over the years in terms of when we go through all this, disturbances that take place. What I'm talking about is during elections or during protests or etc. So basically that's my background. This is who I am, and this is where I am today.
Thank you so much, Rafik, for that elaborate expression of why you feel qualified. I want to give the members of the committee an opportunity to also ask you a few questions. Absolutely. Then after that, we shall wish you all the best. And I'll start with the Honourable Member for Kaloleni Shaurimoyo, the Honourable Member Karen Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Abdul.
Yes, Karen.
I hope you are aware that in this county, we have the City Board and the Kisumu County Revenue Board. What is your understanding of the relationship between the two in revenue collection?
To be honest, I know that there exists two entities called Kisumu City Board and Kisumu County Revenue Board. As far as I'm concerned, I do not have the inner details of what entails the city board, but I'm aware of the the Cities and the Urban Areas Act, under which these two entities do belong. And revenue collection, I think the Board for Revenue Collection is probably the one that enforces policies and implements its program of being able to self-sustain its revenue collection. And the City Board, I assume and I think is a body that proposes legislation, which probably comes to the County Assembly for final adoption in terms of what it needs to get done in terms of its policies. That's my understanding.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, that's what we want. To the best of your understanding, there's no good or bad answer. Just answer what you know. I'll give next question to Honorable James Omolo. Please use the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Abdul, I have one question for you. From Article 33(1)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, provides for the freedom to seek, receive, and or impart information or idea. The general rationale is that the public have an adequate say in the decision-making process. Therefore, this has been argued to be the foundation of an opportunity of being heard as a threshold of public participation. What is your understanding of what constitutes an opportunity to be heard as provided for in the public participation policy?
Yes, Abdul.
Member, basically, I think what is embedded in the Constitution is public participation en masse. So the question here is that when you have certain policies that need adoption, those policies have got to be demonstrated and discussed and exposed to the public. And that is what is important, that we have seen that a couple of regulations and rules have been subjected to questionable approvals without public participation. When we see certain gazetted notices also happening, that certain venues have been nominated for public participation, you will find that if you are having a public participation exercise in Shaurimoyo for something that is very importantly necessary to be brought to the attention of the entire business community, the question is that they miss out. I'm now elaborating a little bit more on my experience, that we have had issues where enough consultation and public knowledge has not been imparted to the group that would be most affected, including when we were looking at the physical land use development plan that was being PLUDP was being formulated. There wasn't enough public participation until there needed to be some proactive engagement. That would it be done at the level of where there would be interaction with the business community. So I agree. What you're telling me is that absolutely.
What is your understanding of the City Board's function in accordance with the provisions of the Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011 and its Amendment Act of 2019?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Member, absolutely, I have no information. I have not been exposed to any meetings of the City Board. There was just once when we were invited to, we had issues with the proactive approach of the city manager, and the governor then called up a meeting. I also happen to be the vice chair of Lake Region Traders Association, and that is when the board appeared before all of us in terms of certain policies that were discussed and were being implemented without the knowledge of the entire business community. So, Chair, I have not been able to have an insight into what are the functions of the board, what is the mandate of the board, how is it embedded through the act as well. But this is something I need to go back and, in the event I am accepted and my nomination is considered, then this would be a learning curve to be able to understand what is needed to be done.
Thank you so much, Abdul. I like your honesty, and that shows a lot in your character. The Honorable Vincent Jagongo.
Mr. Abdul, in relation to Article 185 of the Constitution of Kenya, that is 2010, and Section 87 of the County Government Act 2012, what is your opinion on the principles of public participation? And why do you think public participation is important in management of the city?
Thank you, Chair. I think this was embedded by the experts in the Constitution. And basically, we've come a long way in terms of implementation of the Constitution, and in terms of implementation of the policies, and in terms of the development projects and proposals that one would have as part of the board. So in the event the board now, has a vision to say that we want this implemented, or we want this to be done, it would absolutely be necessary that public participation has got to be accorded. And I think it's the same kind of question that I answered the honorable member, that absolutely it's necessary that public participation is required. But to be honest, the question that I've been asked on how is it interlinked between both the Constitution and the Act itself, I have no idea.
Thank you so much, Abdul. Honorable members, as we were deliberating, I think two other members just came in, and I'll introduce them. The Honorable Member for Market Milimani, the Honorable Seth Ochieng Kanga. I think he can rise up so that we see him. Thank you, Honorable Member. I'll give you an opportunity to ask a question. And then we have the Honorable Member for Kolua East, the Honorable Ruben Rakwach. Thank you, Honorable Members. Up to that point, any member who has a question that they want to raise to the nominee? Yes, Honorable Seth Ochieng.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. First of all, Abdul, Rafik Danji, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you, sir.
For being nominated as a member of the city board, and your name has been forwarded to this committee for vetting. Mine will be based on general questions on war, things which are happening in Kisumu County or in the city in general. And these are matters which are in the public domain. One, you are aware that the governor in his first term had got a very sound transformation agenda for this city. And one question has not been addressed to date. You are aware that the traders of Kibuye were once relocated at the stadium in the name of putting up a modern market for those traders. And that vision was not adequately realized in the first term of the governor. And there were pictorials to that effect on what was to be done in that market. And that purely lies within your jurisdiction, if the committee may approve you as a board member. That has not been realized. I don't know how you are going to tackle it if you are given this job. Another issue which I want you to tell us how you are going to address it, because the governor addressed it in his manifesto. That is the transport network within the city. At the moment, we have tuk-tuks, we have motorbikes, and you have seen the city manager doing irrational notices even banning motorcycles within your area, that is Milimani, because I know you stay in Milimani. And another thing is that the tuk-tuks have no designated parking areas in Kisumu, which brings a serious transport menace within our city. If you are approved as a board member through you, Chair, what are your plans in those two sectors, the Kibuye market traders and the transport network within the city? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Seth. Proceed, Rafiq.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Seth is known to me. He's my MCA for Market Milimani, and we have interrogated quite often at our peace initiative forums as well. So we do. He probably has an idea of my character. He knows me in terms of what I'm able to do. Chair, as far as the eviction of the traders from Kibuye was concerned, and there was relocation to the stadium area where we had the former dump site at Kachok, and once Kibuye was refabricated and redone again, we also had the new market, which was the Uhuru Business Park. That was an initiative of the national government. Now here, I think we really need to be able to realign what is the mandate of the national government vis-a-vis what is the mandate of the county government. If the infrastructure was built on land which belonged to an individual and there was a forceful eviction, there was a market that has been built, which is now ready for occupation, why is there still a lot of activity on the exterior of the market and not internally in the market? What are the vested interests? What are the key areas that need to be looked at in terms of governance and making it easy for the individuals to be able to occupy? I think we have vested interests both at county level and at national government level. We have cartels who manage most of these operations of what's going on. And, because of the vested interests, it becomes very difficult for the common man. I mean, we saw at Chichwa what happened initially when the market was coming up. There were issues, you read about them. The erratic notices by the city manager. I think that happens because you do not have a board that is effectively in control of being able to make decisions. So some decisions have to be made. And that's why you find that the city manager would be making decisions for the city, because he needs good governance in the city. Some of his notices and some of his intentions are very clear. Some of them are very sober, but are they practical to be implemented? He means very well when he says that I do not want tuk-tuks and motorbikes in Milimani. But what is the alternate to that? If you do not want tuk-tuks and motorbikes in Milimani, who are transporting domestic workers, who are transporting residents of the neighborhood, then what is the other option that one is going to create? Are we looking at gated communities? Are we looking at lighting in some of the key areas? Because your cornerstone of banning this was insecurity, right? So that is one. As far as the transport sector is concerned, again, we have the new bus stand at Nyamasaria that was created years ago. It's still lying idle. There has been no reallocation. When you look at KCT area, it's a nightmare with the tuk-tuks being there. The transport sector, they brought some sanity when the Afri-Cities was taking place. But when you now look at Aga Khan area and you look at the whole area where Bungoma Line and others are all parked, and so when you are clearing one, the other one is getting into a difficult situation. So, I mean, it's got to be thought out that how are we planning the city? How are we looking at demarcations? How are we looking at alternate routes? When the non-motorized segment came in, that you have a non-motorized section with a triangle. that came in, right? So where was the alternate? This is the hub of the city. This has been the CBD of the city for the last 120 years. And that was the most enterprising area of the business community. Now, in order for you to create an unmotorized zone, the drop-offs, the pickups, and the loading and the offloading, have we thought through this? Do we have parking silos where people will be able to park their cars and go? And you say you want to create an unmotorized area. So you see, that was some of the concerns and questions that the business community had. And I think here, Chair, is that a lot of implementation needs to be thought through in terms of consultation, in terms of practicality. You can give notices, but are they doable? Are they achievable? What is the alternate? See? And I know it's a huge agenda. If that's the mandate of the city board, there will be a lot of interaction, a lot of discussions will need to take place in terms of what needs to get done. Again, how is this board being heard? Is the board effective enough? Is the chair of the board strong enough to be able to make a decision? These are some of the things that if you have some strong-minded people who are in the board and who are not there for any material gain, or who are there purposely or principally to make sure that the city is a better place for one to live in, because it's time to pay back to what you've got out of your years of living in this city, then I think you're home and dry, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rafiq. Any member with a different question? Thank you, Rafiq. I think I'll just raise one thing, then we shall be done. In the self-declaration letter that you sent to EACC,
yes,
which was received on 14th March 2023,
yes,
under educational qualification and experience,
yes,
you've only ticked that you've got a diploma.
Yes. Chair,
I've not finished yet.
Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you. In the requirements for qualifications of a member of a board, of the city board, in the amended act, it's required that you hold a degree. In the documents that you've submitted before this committee, I've seen both the original and the copies that you brought. And the only document I can hold with regards to level of education is a letter of admission from Universidad del Valle de Mexico, University of the Valley of Mexico. And there's one for completion, there's one for admission, and there's one for completion. Would you please convince this committee that with those you still meet the requirement of having a degree as stated by the law?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as far as my documentation to the EACC was concerned, this was filled on my behalf, and I was out of town at that time. I needed this document basically for my due waiting process for the governing council membership of Kenya Security Industry Association. So we had a whole template. IEBC was undertaking the elections in March, of 31st March, and they needed to get all these documents in place. So you can look, all my requirements are based in March. If you look at my CRB, you look at my HELP, you look at my ESCC, all are in March. Unfortunately, what was not recorded that in 2019 I did enroll for a Bachelor of Science program for security management, which was an online platform. We had 2021 part of COVID that was going on. I wasn't able to complete in good time. I have just completed it. I'm awaiting to be able to get my transcripts because there is a fee arrears and a fee balance that needs to be undertaken. Once that is complete, then we will be able to get the documents for them to be certified by the university board. right? So that is ongoing, and we've completed. There is a completion letter that I've given, and there was an admission letter that we've submitted for 2019, because I think those are some of the requirements that you may have as part of the city board requirement, that you must have a university degree as well. So that's ongoing. It's basically in security management.
Thank you. I would have also have loved to see how you moved from whatever level to bachelor's in degrees. You know, in Kenya, we believe in papers, like where did you go to primary, where did you go to secondary, those kind of papers, but I can't find them here.
Oh no, those ones, basically my CP and my East African Certificate of Primary Education, which was the Form 4 certificates, they were misplaced, and I haven't been able to get them for the last couple of years. So I don't know where they went, but when we were moving offices from Tivoli, some of my documents went missing, and I have not been able to get them. So I went back to Kisumu Boys, but they were looking for the archives and see if they could give that to me. So my primary school was at Aga Khan. I finished my CP in 1976, and I went to Kisumu Boys from 78 to 1980.
Thank you, Rafik. I think up to that point, anybody with any additional question? There being no any other additional question, I want to request that we return for you your original documents, and please confirm them if all of them are there.
Absolutely, Chair.
Thank you. Then I'll give you an opportunity to give your last remarks before we can release you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I may have been deemed to be worthy of being able to be of service to my country, to my nation, and to my city. And of course, with our busy schedule, we are businessmen. We run businesses, and with whatever we do, it's important that we look at what Kisumu has given us, and what can we give back to Kisumu. You know, we've grown up here, we've lived here. Like I said, we are fourth generation Kenyans, and if this calling were to come, then we would try and do it to the best of our ability, to the best of our capacity, and to the best of, whatever we can give back. And with that, I thank you all for having listened to what I've had to say. But this is who I am, and this is what I'm able to do for my beloved city. Goyo Rokomano to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rafik. I want to say I'm impressed with your honesty and your conviction to give back to Kisumu, having served you in one way or the other. I want to say it's a decision that the committee will make, but all in all, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
If it comes out to be you, we would really be happy to work with you as we change the face of Kisumu City.
Thank you, Chair.
Otherwise, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we want to allow you to now leave your chair, and we will communicate our decisions once we are done to you.
Thank you, Chair, and a blessed afternoon to all of you.
Thank you.
And our best wishes and prayers for the success of all that you're doing in your endeavors as well. And our prayers always for this city to prosper. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sergeant Atam, could you please assist him? Thank you, members. I think we have listened to the nominee, and I think we should proceed and Karibu sana nominee. Please have a seat. Thank you, honorable members. I know the honorable Landa is asking me how are we going to handle the questions. I think we'll use the same criteria as we did last time. So you guys can consult very fast and see if somebody wants to change to the next person. So otherwise, I believe the nominee. I believe we are talking to Linda Knight, and if I'm talking to Linda Knight, please provide us with the original ID for confirmation. Thank you, Linda. Linda, this is the Committee on Appointment of Kisumu County Assembly, and we've invited you to vet you as one of the nominees for the City Board of Kisumu. In that position, I think before we proceed, I want to request the members to introduce themselves very fast. And then after that, I will ask that you be sworn in. I will start with the gentleman on the far end.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Oko, MCA Ahero.
I am Sethu Chinkanga, a member of this committee and MCA of Market Vilimani Ward.
I'm Vincent Jagongo Chopa, member of this committee, member for Northwest Kisumu Ward.
Afternoon, I'm Honorable James Uchengo Molo. I represent West Nyakach. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Obonyo, MCA representing Southwest Kisumu Ward, member of this committee.
Good afternoon, Madam. I'm Honorable Eunice Alando, specially elected representing women under our party ODM in the County Assembly of Kisumu. I'm also a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Odhiambo, member representing Shaurimoyo Kaloleni Ward, also a member of this committee. Welcome.
Thank you, Linda. And my name is Seth Okumu. I'm the member representing East Seme Ward and the acting chair of the committee. With me are the secretariat of the committee, and I want to give the senior clerk to introduce them. Microphone is on. Use this one.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Peter Diti, the head of Secretariat for the committee. With me, we have Haman, the clerk assistant, Rispa Sergeant Am, Patrick Oko from Mansard. We have Edward Odanga, also from Mansard. We have our Sergeant Am, Ezekiah Awinda. We also have our student on attachment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Up to that point, having confirmed that you are Linda Knight, I want to request the clerk to put you on oath.
I, Linda Knight, do solemnly and sincerely swear that every word that I shall utter before this committee is true, nothing but the truth, and that every statement and declarations that I shall make shall be made consistently believing the same to be true according to the Oaths and Statutory Declarations Act. So help me God.
Thank you so much, Linda. Up to that point, I believe you are told to provide your original testimonials for the documents that you used in your application, and I want to request the Sergeant at Arms to take them from you and hand them over. So as we are going through your testimonials, I want to request that you tell this committee why you feel that you are suitable for the job that you are being vetted for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair, and the honorable members. First of all, my name is Linda Knight. I'm 36 years old. I am gender female. I'm a Christian, also married. Okay. I have an educational background. First of all, I went to my primary school in Kisumu here, Mememsha Primary School. I later joined secondary school in Kisumu Girls High School. Then after that, I joined tertiary college, that is Kenya Institute of Management. Did my diploma course in business management. Then later joined Maseno University, did my degree in business administration, finance option. So coupling this with my educational background plus my work experience, I think I'm fit to hold the position I'm being vetted for. My employment experience is first I joined, I started working from a humble beginning. I started as an office assistant. Then after graduating with a diploma, I was promoted to now an office assistant administrator. Then afterwards, I went to office, I went to finance and admin assistant. Then finally being a finance manager, finance and administrative manager. So this experience, I believe, will help me and do my duties for the position that I've been nominated for. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda Knight, for that very good summary. I think I want to give the honorable member nominated, the honorable Eunice Alando, to also ask you a question relating to the position that you are being voted for. Yes, Honorable Eunice.
Thank you, Chair. To Madam Linda. What is your understanding of the revenue administration structure of the city in the current revenue legislative framework of the county?
Thank you, Honorable, through the chair. Revenue administration structure, according to my understanding, it's an arm of the county government. So the county government has a county revenue board that is has been given the mandate to handle revenue collection. So according to my understanding, it's the county revenue board that has been given the mandate to collect the revenues for all the counties, for all the county. Thereby, it's the one that is tasked with the with the structures that will be put in place or are in place to collect the revenue for the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Ken Oko.
Good morning, once. Good afternoon, Linda.
Good afternoon, sir.
What are some of the functions of the city board according to the provision of Cities and Urban Areas Act of 2011 and its amendment of 2019?
Functions of the county board. The county board is responsible for the affairs of the city or municipality. The county board has been given a mandate to control the land use of the city, do the zonings of the city land for both the public and the private sectors. That is by giving out lands for industries, markets, etc. Also, another function of the board is to implement and facilitate development, integrated development plans for the city. I think those ones are the ones I can remember for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Jennifer.
Thank you, Linda. What is your understanding of the city board's functions in accordance with the provisions of the urban areas?
I don't remember. I think that's the question that the honorable member for Ahero just asked. The same question. I think she just answered. Yeah.
Okay.
So who is answering? Yes, Honorable Jagongo.
In relation to
the management of Kisumu City, in that residents are able to get information concerning budgets, concerning plans, projects that are supposed to be done within the city. It also enables it is also an access for information to the residents in terms of they will be aware of what is going on in terms of the projects, so that they will be in case in the future when the projects are going to be implemented, they will not be in a position now to start opposing what is being done by the city. Public participation also brings inclusivity in that this is a cosmopolitan city. It carries so many people, different people from different backgrounds, tribes, ethnicities. So from this public participations, all their views are able to be captured for the development of the Kisumu city. I think I have that one for now.
Thank you. I think you said the much that you can recall. I want to give Honorable James Omolo to ask question 2.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
Sergeant Atam, could you please assist the honorable member with the working microphone? And remove that one that is not working.
Thank you. Now I'm audible. Kisumu City has currently been earmarked by the World Bank as a frontier for the implementation planned sustainable urbanization. Kindly discuss with this panel your understanding of the concept of planned sustainable urbanization. Thank you.
Yes, Linda.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable. My understanding as per sustained development, it's still that Kisumu is a city that is still developing. In the context of urbanization, it is not fully urbanized. So World Bank coming in as a frontier to do all this, it's going to assist the residents of Kisumu economically. This is by when the city is developed, we are going to bring in investors. Thus, businesses will thrive, and this one is going to raise the economic standards of the people and also the Kisumu city. Environmentally, because of the development is also easing the slums regions, which is a bit habitable, not as before for the residents. So it means it's also going to improve on the environmental awareness also, and environmental habitability of the residents. Hence, now the Kisumu city is going to be environmentally friendly for its residents. Another thing is infrastructure. When there's development within the city, the infrastructure is going to be improved. Because now the infrastructure within the least expected areas, like the areas in, like I've seen in Arena, in Manyata, the roads have been improved. So it has been improved so far. I think it's because of the World Bank assistance also. So when the infrastructure is improved, it means the city is also being urbanized, because you don't expect roads that are earth roads that are in the village to be within the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. Yes, Eunice, there's one more question.
Thank you, Chair. To Madam Linda, because Madam Linda Knight,
yes,
it's good to know you in details, and from your ID, I can see your place of birth and place of issue is not matching to the records at the back. I don't know what happened, because I can see Kisumu East and Winam. If you come at the back of your ID, I can see Ugonja, Sigomre, North, Sijui Ulumbi, Sijui what. You can explain for us, maybe to know you more.
Thank you so much. Okay, initially I've been brought up by a not partially single parent. So when I was getting my ID, I had some issues because we could not trace my birth certificate. So I had to use my mother's details. She comes from Ugunja Sigomre. Yes. So now when I was making my passport in 2017, I was informed by the immigration office I have to change because now my my birth certificate shows I was born this side, but the ID I took based on my mother's information. So they insisted that I go and change the information from the birth records. I have affidavit for that. It's in my originals. Yes.
Thank you. Any other question? Yes, Honorable Sato Chair.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Madam Linda Knight, did you apply for this job?
Yes, sir.
You applied for the. Thank you for being nominated, and thereby your name has been forwarded to this committee.
Thank you, sir.
Mine will be general. You know, in the last 5 years, under the stewardship of the governor, Kisumu as a city has made several strides in terms of infrastructural development and other segments of our society. And we have had challenges too. If you are nominated or you are successfully interviewed and thereby approved for this job, what are some of the challenges currently Kisumu as a city is facing, and how are you going to address them? As I see, you were brought in Kisumu, you went to school in Kisumu, and you went to Kisumu Girls. So you are a Kisumu lady.
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the challenges we are facing now as a city, and how are you going to address them if you are given this job? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Linda.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable. One of the challenges in Kisumu City is business. I don't know how to put it exactly, but there is for the last 5 years we have been having issues with the relocation because of the development we are trying to do in the urbanizing Kisumu City. So it's like when you are urbanizing Kisumu City, you are moving the city further. So through this, most of the people have been displaced mostly in their places of work, that is businesses. There have been a lot of commotion because of that. Another one is water shortages. Kisumu is just next to the Lake Victoria next to the Lake Victoria, yet we lack water. And the residents lack water. People buy water, and yet we stay near the lake. People even wonder. That is also another challenge in Kisumu. Solid waste management is also another challenge in Kisumu. We still don't have proper, we are trying, but not that much. Because the county is trying to do solid waste management, but also residents are also having a hard time in adjusting with that. So that is also another challenge. Through those 3 points, when I'm given the opportunity to serve in the board, there's a question we were asked about public participation. I think this one should be done more and more. Not that actually it should start from the public barazas, lower, so that the city can be able to get more information on what the residents really want. Because when the residents are aware of what the development that the city is supposed to be doing, and they understand, there's not going to be any commotion with them. Or if there is going to be resistance, but it's going to be very minimal for maybe those who don't understand. Because there are some people who even if they're being told the truth, they still put a blind eye. Concerning solid waste management, I think also that one we should invest more on research and see on how we minimize on that. On the issue of water, that one, I'm not an expert in water issues, but I think Kiwasco should be also tasked to see how we can handle that. Thank you.
May allow me, because
yes, proceed.
It is a serious issue which affects development of our city and hospitality in general and security. Of recent, there is a serious influx of street kids. You are aware that Kisumu is the only city in this region, neighboring Vihiga, Kakamega, Siaya, and people are coming, the children are coming as far as Bungoma County.
Yes.
Which has also, there has been allegations, though not substantiated, that the insecurity we are facing in Kisumu right now is a result of influx of street kids. So, and that one clearly falls under the docket of the board, the city board, which develops policies to be implemented by the city manager. In your view, because maybe if you are approved for this job, how are you going to handle this issue of the street children? If you will go to the Oile Park there, you will find several street children. At night, it becomes a disaster. So how are you going to handle it?
Yes, Linda.
Thank you, through the chair. Thank you, Honorable. I'm aware of the influx of the street children. In my view, first you have to know why Kisumu City is the one habiting all these people. We should know the cause first. We should understand why in all the towns neighboring Kisumu City, why are they only more on this side? That one is a research that has to be done by the board. Maybe if they can do an assessment on that, we can, as per my proposal, I can suggest a research be done on that, an assessment be done on that, so that we can know why they are interested in Kisumu City. Yet those other places are also towns which are also developing and also are under some county governments. To address the issue of insecurity, that one we have to liaise with the police force, and also I think the Mijikumi thing is also still going on, but I think it is not so much within the city. It's not so much within the city. It's more outside within the rural areas, the Mijikumi association. So that is why there's difficulty in doing that. Because even if you bundle them together, you remove them, where are you going to take them? Because they don't want to go back to where they came from. It is an issue that has to be thought, researched, and assessed for further deliberations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. Any other question? There being no any other question, I want to request the honorable members that I get the testimonials of Linda Knight back so that we can hand them over to her and she confirms if every other document is in the file as she gave us. Do you confirm you have your documents?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. If you have all your documents, then we want to give you an opportunity for any last words you want to tell this committee before we let you go.
Thank you so much, Chair. First, I'll appreciate my Almighty God for giving me the opportunity to be here with you today. I also appreciate you, Chair, and the members of this committee for giving me this opportunity to come here. Thank you so much. I hope, I believe I'll be appointed. I'll be appointed and serve the people of Kisumu City. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. We also appreciate you coming. And we believe this is not a one-man decision, but a decision of the whole committee. And we are wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Once we've made decision as the committee, we'll write back to the governor who nominated you so that the appointment or not can be done. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
And we want to allow the Sergeant at Arms to help you exit the room.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All members, she's exiting. I believe you are awarding marks based on her